Welcome back, DigiDs, to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 2, and honestly, don't mind me, I'm just going for a casual stroll right now, while out on my little favorite new plane. I just designed this actually just like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, how do I want to start this episode? I'm like, I wonder if I can design something real quick, and I came up with this. I'm like, I swear I've seen tiny planes before, so I thought I'd take a look and design one of my own, and it seems to fly pretty well. But today, what our main objective is actually going to be is building this SpaceX Starship, Starhopper type of ship that's going to be going on as orbital tests sometime soon. Now, because I have talked about it before, and I bet a lot of people have seen photos of it. If you're watching Kerbal program, content, you probably know about it, you've probably seen it. But, just in case there are, the chance that there is a new viewer out there who's not familiar with the whole space program, just getting into all this, who's just maybe just finding all this information interesting, then I'm gonna go ahead and build a mock version of the closest that I can try. I'm not an expert builder in this game, but I will try my best to build a mock version of the SpaceX Starship. Beautiful, as I show off in the background, and then we're gonna go ahead and try to do a version of the orbital test. So we're not going to go all the way into like a full circularization of our orbit, because their first orbital test, or rather suborbital test, is that they're just going to go up. I don't know exactly how high they're going to be going, but let's say they're going to go like into space, though. They're going to go all the way up. They're going to detach from the bottom side of the super heavy rocket, and then the top side will go ahead and the bottom side will come back to Earth and land. Well, I think in this first test is going to be crashing into the ocean. Both of these will. And then the top side, the actual Starship part, will also go being and landing in the ocean, but it's going to be demonstrating how well it can actually land in the ocean by just very softly and gently landing in the water the best that it can, so it can kind of survive the crash, and they can look at it, and hopefully I can survive this crash. I'm not very good at landing these rockets. I am not very good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into that, though. We may as well go ahead and, yeah, let's confirm revert. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at what we're going to be building here today. Once we actually float in, and you may be surprised here, DigiDs, that you're right. Right now, at the moment, this is not a voiceover. This is me actually playing the game. I know, surprising. This is a completely, unheard of ever since, my first 2 episodes. I guess it's not, it has been a little while, though, it's ever since I did an actual just not doing a voice, or just playing it and talking at the same time. And I'm doing this because I think, honestly, this won't necessarily take that long to build. I think it's a rather simple ship, honestly, when you look at it. And I'll try to maybe see if I can put some photos up on screen for you to take a look at. And I'm also going to be kind of taking a look at these photos as well to reference as to what I want to build this. So to start off with, I think it does just kind of have a big central, this is the largest cockpit that we really have to start off with. And it really is very just, it's amazing how much just a grain silo this ship really is essentially like what it comes out to be. It is just a giant silver, or at least at this point, when it has heat shot, or the heat shielding, it has heat shielding all on one side that makes it look all black, and on the other side is completely silver, much like this. So the entire ship is mostly silver, but on one side it does have the heat shielding. That's because when it comes into the orbit, as you'll be seeing later in this video, so when it's coming back down, it's just going to belly flop onto one side, and that one side is going to take all of that heat shielding and just, take all the heat, and then right before it lands, it takes its butt end and just whips it around with the engines and lands perfectly back on it. So we're going to be kind of doing something like that. So to start off with, though, this is already looking pretty darn close to it. Honest to God, I know, it's pretty simple. Rockets in real life are not as big and amazing as, we like to sometimes make ours in this game. So it kind of has some fins up here at the top, but these are a little bit too big. So I'm going to have to probably go to a small stabilizer, and that'll have to be good. Let's go ahead and put that to 2, 1 for each side. Not overextend that too much. Right up to the tip. There we go. Nice. So yeah, they kind of have these smaller fins right up here, which actually end up being load-bearing points, because this whole thing will be sitting on top of 2 chopstick arms that I'll put kind of an image. This will be a primary image that I'm actually referencing here. If you take a look, you'll actually see that it's holding us up on each side of the wing. This has already happened. This is not a rendered. right? To some people who have not been following along or just heard that SpaceX is like, oh, they're building a Starship or something. I don't know. I haven't been following. It's whatever. If this is your first time actually taking a look, take a look at this photo. This is real. This is not rendered. So they are taking this rocket up on these giant chopstick arms, and they're going to stack it on top. And they already have stacked it on top of this rocket. You know, they've been testing it. They stack it, destack it several times. It's gone in and out of the hangar bay. You know, it's just how testing goes. But yeah, that's them side by side. So you can really get a glimpse at what I've been talking about. It's very silver, and then it's got black all on one side with that heat shield that they had on it. And what the idea is that when it comes to land, that eventually it's going to come in and land inside those chopsticks. So you've seen the SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets landing down on the landing pad multiple times, hundreds of times. And they go up almost, I think the record now is like the longest one has gone up like 13 times in a row and landed 13 times in a row, you know? So I believe that's the record, either that or like 12. But now, if we actually take a look back at our ship here, so we're already looking kind of similar, except that it doesn't have all the black on one side. But we do need a little bit of a nose cone. Now, the idea is that at this very tip, at this very, very tip, it's actually supposed to have a little bit of a header tank, something that has reserve fuel left over to actually kind of jumpstart the engines when it's horizontal to get all the fuel flowing initially, and just, it's kind of like its reserve tank. It's going to use up mostly everything in its main tank, and then at the very end it'll have just enough here to kind of fire it off, land, or, you know, if it needs an extra bit, it'll have that. And because it's horizontal, be kind of pumped, it's all pressurized. Even at a horizontal, you think the fuel wouldn't flow, but because it's all pressurized, they can get the fuel in there. They did kind of have that problem initially with their first few rocket tests that did crash. But yeah, so we're going to take a look at, see if we can get any header tanks. I don't think at this point, though, that they honestly have anything that's going to be like a nose cone and have fuel in it. I think they had that in KSP1, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that here, unfortunately, DigiDs. So we might just have to go ahead and give a little cheeky, where is it? Little nose cone. I'm on aerodynamics, you'd think, or am I just blind? Ah, I am blind, because it's right here at the very top. But a small little nose cone. Doesn't seem like it fits. It doesn't quite uniformly fit, and that bothers me a little bit. A lot. That bothers me a lot. I don't like that. It doesn't. It feels like it goes at a different angle. Like it goes at like a 45, and then it goes at like a at like a 50 or something like that. Like, that's weird. Okay, I need to stop staring at it. Back to the ship. But then down below, we actually have a little bit of some bigger wings. They're not necessarily wings, I mean, I guess they kind of are wings. They are stabilizers. They might be a little bit too big, though, is the issue. I wonder. Let's screw a little bit with, that's right, because what I want to do, DigiDs, I apologize for keep having to clear my throat. I swear, you sit here and practice talk before the episode. You know, you sit there, you do your vocal exercises. You're like, ba da 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 da, you know, just kind of making random noises. Just kind of warm up your voice. No issue. The second you start recording, I swear to God, it acts as though you just downed 12 Mountain Dews and ate a bag of like gummy gushers. You just got everything in your mouth and throat at the same time. Like, why? Why have you done this to me? I have to perform. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a look at this, but we can actually take a look at the root thickness, like the parts. We're going to see if maybe we can kind of get this to look a little bit more similar, because it's like a wing, but extends down. It's longer, right? So which one of these? Yeah, root length, I think, is our primary one. If we make that longer... Ooh, don't do that. If we make that longer, can I get... Yeah, so make that just about exactly that length. Now I need to make it thicker. Root thickness. Not quite. Root length? No, not... That's what I just changed. Angle, not the angle. Span? Not quite. It also only goes that far. Tip length. Ah, tip length, I think, kind of does it. Thickness. Tip angle. That's getting a little bit close. It's not quite exactly that, it's not exactly what we were looking for, but I think it's kind of close enough. Do I want this as a control surface? I think so. I think I'll want it. Yeah, I'll want to keep that, because if I don't, I'm not going to have enough to flip around. This is going to be another primary thing. When it flips, it fires its engines, it turns its engines, and then just kind of, it has its wings, you know, of course it points its wings to just get the most aerodynamic lift that they can and just turn its butt end around. Now, I believe it has 3 engines on the very bottom. So, if I take a look at structurals... Yeah, here we go. Structure. Engine mounts. This is... What? This is a large? Ooh, that's a little big. A hot plate MK3 engine mount. With designing unique mission count for style rockets, space planes. So what's the difference between that one and this one? Because this one is much, like, lighter. But this one's more protected? I guess it's more for, like, a plane, I suppose. Kind of fits that part. But here's an engine mount for a larger rocket. So I believe they have 3 engines on the bottom, 3 Raptors. So, oh, am I going to have enough room for all of them, though? I can get maybe... Ooh, I can get maybe 3 swivels. These are going to be... Swivels are probably going to be what I'm going to need the most. Because they're going to have most... They're going to have the most gimbal authority possible to actually get the tail end turned around. So let's go ahead and see if I can fit 3 of these perfectly on this engine mount. If it stops attaching. Snapping. I turned off snap, but it still likes to do it. Come on. There we go. Nice. Now it's working with me. So this is not turning out exactly how I wanted. Perfect. No, it attached at the last second. There we go. And then the last one would be right here on this bottom side. I mean, I feel like that's not half bad. If I can just get this one in a little bit more. There we go. Now I need to move this one, I think, a little bit more center with these 2. I'm trying so hard, DGDs. I'm trying so hard. Stop snapping. Boom. Ah, it's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. I can't deal with that. No. No. Where did you go? Where did you attach to? Where did it go? It attached to something underneath here. Okay, there it is. Somehow attached underneath on that side. You know what? Can I move that off to the side, please, and thank you? For some reason, it really wants to put it up top. Okay, I'm going to do this. Let's move that there. Let's take the translation tool, and now we can do this. We have them magnetized off. Let's just go ahead and move them all individually like this. This is going to be a lot simpler. I should have just done this from the start. Nice. Kind of center them all. And now I want to spread them all out. Now that I kind of have them all centered around one another. Want to keep the distance even between them all. Just a little bit. Just a little bit all. Because if they end up trying to gimbal towards one another, I don't want them smacking into one another. That's going to be the issue. If they end up gimbling into one another and breaking, that's going to be terrible. So this is kind of turning out uneven again. It's kind of close. Maybe I should just put it to 4, but no, I want to keep it more true. You know, I want to keep it more true. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that'll work. It should kind of work. Let's go ahead and close that out. Move back to our sniping tool. Put back on that stab. Get rid of that. And now, boom. Not quite. What are you? Oh, why is there another engine? No, my engine! Oh, you know, sometimes you just have to really just laugh at the fact that this game is so god-awfully broken. You know, it is a real struggle sometimes, and it is toying with me at its finest ability. Let's just go ahead and move that there, and I'll just move it on over on my own, because this appears to be much more effective. Very nice. There we go. One more off to the side. Yeah, even enough. I think that'll do. Now go back to the selection tool. Select the engine plate. I have all 3. Oh, there we go. Okay, in the center. Attach. Beautiful. Now, what I think we need to do. How are we going to protect this? Because this would technically just attach to the very next part, right? Decoupler. Can I just do a medium decoupler? Will this work? Oh, we need a large decoupler. Oh, it actually has an attachment point. That is a very fine quality of life Right there, DigiDs, look. So I was worried, so it's an engine mount, right? So you're gonna have 3 different attachment points. That's an annoying. Which one is it gonna attach to? There's no center point. You can't continue the rocket. But what it does, it puts another one down below. And that can shroud that entire section. That is beautiful. I like that. That is a nice quality of life. Now, that does, of course, add that entire shroud, which is a little bit bigger than what it would be. However, let's move on to the next section, which I believe is just... It's just more of the same. I think it's just probably 3 of these sections, honestly. Is what it is. If I can go to Color Manager. Parts. Let's go to this part. And is there a better silver? Accent... more silver. A little bit brighter, I think it needs to be. Brighter. Too white. More silver. See, it just kind of goes gray, though. It doesn't really feel like a silver. But I suppose this will have to work. Nice. I think I'll leave these parts up here kind of looking like they have that black section on it, because it'll differentiate. At least it'll be able to tell a little bit better between the StarShip and the bottom section. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that color manager. Move back to the selection tool. Yeah, that's basically just 3 sections. Now, I am not going to be able to do this one, DigiDs, because if I go ahead... I am fairly certain it has something close to, like, 33 engines on the bottom. Like, it is... Like, it has 33 Raptor engines that are all optimized for sea level. The engines are like arranged like on kind of a concentric or a concentric ring almost, in a sense. Like, it has 3 in the innermost ring, 10 in the middle ring, and 20 in like the outermost ring. Like, the 2 inner rings are filled with like the ones like with gimbaling, so that way they can actually turn around and get like, you know, the actuators and their angles and whatnot. But all the ones on the outside of rim are just kind of like static, so they just kind of give thrust in general. But all the ones in the center like gimbal around. Like, this thing is meant to give off nearly almost 8 million pounds of just, like... No, it can almost give off... Was it? Not 8 million. It's supposed to be... It can almost give off 17 million pounds of just, like, thrust at full power. This thing is ridiculous. But our engine plate is not going to be able to fit 33 of these engines. For the love... I don't think we can even fit these extra smalls. Maybe the extra smalls, but that, I don't think that would be enough to lift this rocket off the ground, unfortunately. So what we're gonna have to probably do is just give a big ol' rocket on the bottom, because that's essentially what it is. You got 33 engines on the bottom of this thing. At that point, it may as well just be a giant bell nozzle, because it's just gonna be the largest rocket ever fired, and it is just gonna be a giant ball of fire, just screaming through the sky. Now, this one does technically it's supposed to have grid fins up here near the top. I'm not sure if we have that yet in this game. Did they add grid fins? No. KSP2 did have grid fins, but unfortunately, these are not in quite yet. It doesn't appear. Maybe they're in thermal? No, maybe because, like, I don't know, like, it's slowly down. Otherwise, it'd be in aerodynamics. Possibly utilities? We got parachutes. We got stabilizers. Nothing quite like that. Now, that is the thing. So, technically speaking, it probably does have reaction wheels in the ship, right? So, I'm probably going to have to add... Let's go ahead and add a stabilizer to both of these. Oh, that's right. They're larges. I keep forgetting these are large. I keep thinking it's almost a medium. So, yeah, let's put larges on all these. Oh, not there. There we go. Beautiful. So that they can actually, like, you know, keep going. And put a battery... I'm going to have to put a battery on this one. Hopefully these batteries survive. Because what my objective is, if I can lob this StarShip up high enough into an orbit, then I can just switch to this one when I detach, try to deorbit this one, go land it, and then go back to this ship in the tracking station, and then land this one. So I'm going to give that an attempt, DigiDs. I don't know if it is going to turn out that way. I mean, we'll see. So the thing is, though, I'll try to land in the water, kind of like how it will in the mission, but I would like to put landing legs on these just in case, but I don't... The landing legs are going to look so ridiculous on this. Plus, they do plan to catch these, right? Or this one plans to land. I believe it's going to have, like, its own little landing legs that are, like, in here, because technically the engines are, like, all up inside a shroud. So they kind of have some clearance where like the bottom of the ship compared to where the engines are, in a sense, compared to this, where now this is an entire extension of just that bell nozzle. So I can't build on this while the legs have to reach all the way down there. Let's see. Let's take a look at ground. These extra large legs extended. Yeah, and they still don't reach. They would have to be like almost like there, and then I have to rotate them out or something. Almost looks like he's got legs. Hello there, Mr. Rocket. Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. So now, because I don't have grid fins to put up here at the top, I'll just put 4 small stabilizers. There we go, 4 small stabilizers. And that'll kind of act like the same, because the grid fins can, even though that the grid fins are just pieces of metal with holes in them, you'd think, oh, that can't, it's not going to act as a wing, you know, it can't do anything. It's got holes in it. It's a grid. You know, it looks like a griddle. You know? Like, what's that going to do? And surprisingly, it does quite a lot. It can move around the rocket quite a bit. It moves around, slows it down, takes a lot of the heat because it's made out of, like, some, like, carbon alloy type of, like, material of stainless steel. It's ridiculous. Who knows? Like, one of the basically, like, strongest possible metals you can, like carbon fiber type of, you know, situation, composite thing. But that's essentially the whole rocket. Is very simple. And let's look at our staging. Yep, rocket, detach, rockets. Okay, let's go ahead and add all 3 rockets. Perfect. So I can't guarantee that this thing is going to survive. My objective is to basically suborbital, get it into the water. Technically speaking, this thing doesn't even have to survive either. It's going to be landing in the water, but I want to see if I can land it. I don't know how much fuel this or even thrust this is going to actually put out, so let's give it a launch. And take a look if this will even work for us. It's a very simple one. It should be pretty sturdy. And 3, 2, 1, go. Uh-huh. Alright. Nice. A little hop, a skip, and a jump. Cool. Keep going. Alright. We are going nowhere fast anytime soon, but I believe in this rocket. It just has to go up. The only thing it has to do is go up. So let's see if it can go up. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I don't think this thing's going to have enough to go land by itself. Maybe I need to get rid of a section, but then it's just going to be just as tall as the Starship section up here, and that's not going to be quite... I mean, I guess that's 1.5, and this would be 2. I wonder if I can get more engines in here, but that wouldn't be true to what the Starship looks like. I'm gonna have to try something, but, you know, we still have half a tank of fuel, and we are going up. This is progress. We are going. We are making it. This thing is definitely not gonna have enough to land on its own. I think the problem is, I mean, it could have something to land on its own. The only issue is that it's so heavy, I don't think it would have enough thrust to stop itself from crashing into the ground. Although it wouldn't have the top section. It is trying to push the entire Starship up top right now as well. That is to be fair, so it probably might do a lot better. So I'm going to kind of start tipping over so I go towards the water. Kind of just put my orbital path out there. That's like honestly right there already enough. That is already enough probably to put them like out into there. But just going to keep on pushing it over a little bit. Nice, nice. Okay. So I'm definitely not going to have enough to do this. However, detach. Can I switch? 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 It's not letting me switch. Okay, well, you know what? Well, that one is done for. I'm supposed to have a hot... Oh, you know what? I just noticed, Digites. I saw that they're going to be adding that in for, they're going to be adding that in Update 2, is the ability to switch vessels while in midair. So, Digites, this is essentially what they're going to be doing. That they're going to be falling... Come on, get over it, get over it. I can't quite do it. This is a terrible demonstration. I'm trying to get my butt over. I'm trying to get my belly down is what I'm... Oh, you know what? You know what? Revert to Vab. Come on, revert. I forgot something. I forgot something, Digites. I cannot let that launch go that way without actually having a true Starship. I forgot the RCS thrusters. It's supposed to have RCS thrusters that help push it over, right? That's also going to be a big part. And I'm using that as an excuse because I did not have enough to to push myself over at all there. It didn't seem to didn't really seem to like me. Go ahead and where is it? Where is it? It should be maybe in utility? Yeah, there they are. RCS thrusters. So these is what we're gonna need. I might want to put, yeah, let's put like probably like 8 of them. I suppose that works. Might be a bit much. I think that is a bit much, but it'll have to work. So let's take a look at our fuel tanks. Do we have monopropellant? We do. Large, small. That's already going to add even more weight to it. But you know what? Let's be true here. Okay. You know what? Now that I think about it, this could help us. When they do the test, they're not going to have a fully fueled Starship, right? Because the issue is they don't need a fully fueled Starship. When this thing would technically be coming back and, you know, after a real mission, it would only have like a quarter of its tank left, enough to land, right? So actually, if I take a look at these tanks, I'm going to go ahead and take this down to, oh no, I don't know what the, let's go ahead and say to there. Okay, and then we'll put this one to, I hope that's the same as that one. You know, close enough, close enough. And we'll do the same thing for this one. We don't need all this fuel. I can even put this one a little bit less because they both technically don't have to have all this fuel. They could be pressurized for sure, yes. But they don't have to have all this fuel because it's going to be a suborbital test. They don't need all of it to land because, again, they would only have a little bit left after a real mission to land left over anyway. But however, this definitely needs to be all full. So let's give that another go. We have now monopropellant. Even the monopropellant I can probably reduce. That's 10 tons. That's another 10 tons of monopropellant. So I can probably take that down to something like a ton. And that'll be more than enough. Like, the only reason I even chose that is just because it's the only thing that's circularized enough to fit that section, you know? So we should actually launch a lot better now. Let's take another look at this launch. And I think this will be kind of our final go at this. Already stretching a little long for the episode, kind of doing back to the old style here, you know. I can't go ahead and, like, in time stretch this thing. There might be a couple of edits, but not too much. But 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, look at that. That is so much better. That's honestly probably a little bit more true to how it would lift off. A little bit slow, like a beast like this, but just very straight up, slow and steady, and keep on going. I'm going to see how long it'll actually, or how far it'll take me now. Before, I only got to about 11 to 13,000 like meters. Unfortunately, like I was saying before, in patch 2 is looking like it's shaping to be a really big one with a lot of fixes, a lot of structural issues, a lot of different quality of life issues, fixes. And one of those is going to be having the ability to switch vessels in mid-air in atmospheres, right? Within the physics bubble, right? So like when I, stay with me now, stay with me now, stay with me now. Excuse me. Does this no longer work? Come on, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Stay with it. Oh, you gotta go prograde. Hang on, it just feels like doing a couple stunts for you. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hold it, hold it. Never mind, revert to launch. I thought I almost could have pulled that up, but for some reason got back off of prograde again. Wow. I don't know what happened there. It went perfect last time, but now it seems to have an issue. It must not like having less fuel or something like that. I don't know. It should be doing fine. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go ahead and actually keep our RCS thrusters on this time. Just go ahead and just keep them on, even though we only have, even though we only have 1 ton. I don't know why I turned southern there all of a second. Even though we only have a single ton of monopropellant, it should be more than enough to actually just keep us stabilized, I say, as we start to tip over. What's going on here? This just worked. How is this now an issue with less fuel? Is the weight not distributed enough for it now? Hang on, hang on, hang on. Confirm revert. Maybe I won't even need the monopropellant now I'll take the monopropellant off, because maybe I won't even need that now that I can go higher. Because if I can go higher, I'll be able to belly flop better coming into the atmosphere with thinner atmosphere. So I'll get rid of these. No, get rid of that. Get rid of that. And, you know, just to keep it even a little bit more stable. It should be stable enough because it's the same size all the way up, right? So it shouldn't have any problems. But if we go ahead and take a look at structures, let's just to make sure. I don't want it to be acting all silly on me without me even knowing. So go ahead and just attach all of that with wires. It looks like it almost has braces, honestly. Alright, so let's go ahead and give that another shot. This should be good to go. We are stable. Pointed straight up. 3, 2, 1, go. I believe in you, Bill Kerman. Just hold it steady. Just hold it. Just go straight up. That's all you have to do is just go straight up. You are a very simple rocket. There should be no reason you should be tipping over. Do I just need bigger wings? I mean, I would like to keep the rocket looking as true as it can to, you know, of course, the StarShip. But if it's going to keep giving me problems, I might have to just increase the size of the wings. I bet it's probably these ones on the backside that are making it weird. It's probably giving them a little funky, like... It is designed weird. I know they allow you to change all of, like... all the entire, you know, the wingspan, the thickness, how everything looks at the wing. I wonder, does that actually change how it operates? Does it actually get rid of, you know, like if you increase the control surface, does that increase its control authority? You know, if you... Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm spinning again. For some reason, it can't hold straight. I'm very surprised. Oh, you gotta love it. You know what? Detach. Good enough. We can still demonstrate this. Alright, alright, alright. So hold it. Hold it. Right about there. It is not working. I got this, DGDs. I got this. I got this. Pull it. Pull it. So they basically want to come down belly first. Belly first. I just realized, do my wings not have... I don't have enough control authority on these. I need, like, some actual, like, bigger wings. Oh, come on. Come on. We almost got it. We almost got it. Hold it. Hold it. Just like this. Just like this. Except without the spinning. Except without the spinning. Without the spinning. Hold to the right. Hold to the right. No, not quite like that. And DigiDs, I'm gonna fire the rockets. Retrograde, retrograde, retrograde. Retrograde! You know, that almost worked. Hang on, DigiDs. I want to give that another try. I don't care if this episode is running a little long. At this point, it's whatever. You guys get an extra long episode, and it's just because I'm doing it as we go. But that almost worked. Hang on. I was very surprised by how well that actually tipped over. Okay, so you know what? Real quick. You know what? If this thing is always going to tip over no matter what, if for some magical reason it's just going to start tipping over now because it just wants to, then fine. I'm going to put monopropellant back on this thing so that way I can actually keep myself horizontal. You know? Maybe, hang on, what if? So the front wings should probably be bigger. I mean, the back wings, in the real one, the back wings are a little bit bigger, right? Because it wants to get the extra drag that keeps this butt end up, I suppose. But I suppose I want to keep the nose end up now, right? So what if I increase my wing size? What if I get an actual wing? There we go. Get rid of the stabilizer and put on an actual wing. Except I should probably have 2 of them. There we go. I could also just change these and make it a little bit shorter. No, not the roof wing span. Yeah, make the wing span a little bit less. There we go. But if we go down into the control surface, a span, I just want a full control surface. I want this thing to have the absolute most control authority possible. Perfect. And maybe that'll work. I will put on a little bit of RCS. Where are, you know, I think the cockpit, doesn't this cockpit automatically come with, yeah, it comes with, Look at that. DigiDs, it comes with 0.24 tons of monopropellant. Beautiful. Thank you, Command Pod, because that means I don't actually have to even add a monopropellant tank. Look at this. I can just, hang on. Do they have a tiny monopropellant tank? Methane, monopropellants. How small do they get? That is pretty small. You know what? Hang on. That is 0.1, 0.1, 0.25. Alright, I don't think it's worth it. So I can just go ahead and go to my utility. RCS. Yes. I'm just gonna add a whole buttload of these. Just a bunch. As much as I possibly can. So that way, when I do have them and fire them, it's just gonna hold me. I'm gonna use them to fling me around, hold horizontal, and then at that point I can turn them off, and I should just be able to hold it with my SAS. That's kind of the idea. 3, 2, 1, go. Even if this thing starts flipping around, the main objective is to just land this starship, if possible. Technically, it doesn't have to, but I do want it to land a little bit more softly, at least in the ocean, to a point that it survives, okay? I want it to at least survive. I want it to at least be able to get to the water and not, you know, disintegrate. Uh-oh. It is already going awry. How? Honestly, how? Yeah, I mean, that is the question. How does this keep having... Let's go ahead and don't revert. Let's go ahead and revert to launch. I don't want to go to VAB. Let's go to launch. There has to be something that I'm doing wrong with these that I'm not figuring out. So, hey, DigiDs, leave a comment down below. You know, if you want to help me out on more videos in the future, if you want to see me completely fail at making some more of these rockets in the future, feel free to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. It really does help me out, trying to build up the channel here, and I've been loving all your guys' comments. I've been loving all your guys' feedback. So, you know, every time you guys leave a comment, I like it. You know, sometimes I like to comment back to see what you said and leave a like, and it's been super helpful. I've been love seeing all your guys' advice. So, hey, if you guys got any advice as to what I could have done to, or what the issue is with this rocket as to why it keeps tipping over on me as it accidentally opens up the part manager. You know what? Good enough. Detach. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Turn on SAS. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. I accidentally tabbed out. Hold it. That's exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. And fire. Retrograde, retrograde, retrograde. Oh, live, 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 live. Yes. DigiDs, I call that a success. I said I wanted it to at least survive, and you know what? Bill Kerman gets to live to see another day. I call that a success. And you know what? Surprisingly, oh, as I accidentally go inside, surprisingly, I'm not upside down. You know? Oh, can I see him in here? No, not quite. The cockpit's kind of hidden. That's lame. Fix that. I want to see Bill. But that is fantastic. We survived. So that was my StarShip prototype. That honestly went exactly as well as the first kind of examples of this ship. So, except without the super heavy part, this top part definitely. The StarShip crashed the first few times we tried to land it. But thank you DigiDs for watching the video. I appreciate you guys. Leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. You know, again, leave a comment down below. It really helps out the channel. Really trying to build up. I release videos every day, Monday through Saturday. I don't release on Sundays. That's my rest day. You know, but sometimes I release short. Sometimes I forget to not release on Sundays, and then I release anyway. So, hey, keep an eye out. But I'm still pretty bad at outros, so I'll also be... Wow. But I'm still pretty bad at outros, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.